Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Did you see? I changed it up.
Yeah. You know why? Because you're a professional. Laurie Kilmartin, here we are, still sitting in the hot.
It is kind of warm.
It's warm.
I
physically very warm.
moved things around.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that made it hotter, or is it just that we're in the afternoon? We usually do this at night.
Right, and it's more
cooler.
in the 70s then.
Yes.
Because it's got to be in the 80s. And I wore pants because I'm hoping to pick up a set. This is the second one we're doing in a row.
Right.
My hair's still purple. I'm still wearing pants. I'm still hoping to pick up a set of flappers after we do this.
I can't wait to find out what happened.
What happened? You guys, I'm going to France this week.
Okay, so I'm
actually going to Denver again and then going to France.
Okay.
That's dumb. I'm going to High Plains. And
so the
opening
week
for
of the
Maria.
this is 27, 28 that weekend.
Yeah.
I am in Los Angeles. I did put out the word on Twitter that I was available.
Right.
Because who knows who's going to back out, who's going to cancel.
Yeah.
Guess what? I can do it because we have that Friday off, so I can fly out on Friday morning no matter where you are.
Where you are.
Yeah, I can take a super
It could
early
happen
flight.
right now. It's still available to book it.
So I have this week in San Francisco that I want to record a CD.
Right.
It's October 13th through the 16th. Please come.
Everybody,
Please.
fill it up.
So that's a separate issue. But the 2 weekends before, I have road work on both 2 weekends, so I get really work out the
Right, you'll get to do 10 long
50
sets.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Not 10.
It'll be 5, right?
5
Thursday,
I
Friday,
guess,
Saturday?
Yeah. They're both Thursday, Friday sets. Yeah.
Yeah, should be 10 shows.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And then in between those two, the first one is at Helium in Philly, the 3rd through the 5th of October. And then I do like 4 days in New York. And then I go to Burlington the 10th through
Vermont.
the 12th.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm staying on the East
You're
Coast.
stacked. Yeah.
His dad's going to do, his dad's going to take care of him. So I have no guilt. If my mom if she has a health problem, she's on her own.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm working very hard to make sure this is all happening.
And everything's covered. Yeah.
Yes. So then the week of the 13th through the 16th, we were working at Conan, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Well, so once in a lifetimer thing. So I'm going to ask if I can just leave right after the show starts taping. We start at 4:30. There's a 5:20 that goes from Burbank Airport to Oakland.
Oh, this is Thursday, the 16th
Wednesday,
or
Thursday,
something.
and Friday. I was thinking, I'll just do this. I'll be highly traumatized because I worry about this stuff all the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
spend all night worrying, oh my God, what if the plane's delayed? Okay. So I bought 8 plane tickets for that week. Right?
That's right.
I got
I
outbound
remember
on
this.
Wednesday, coming back here at 7:30 in the morning.
No wonder you
on
can't
Thursday.
save up for anything. You're just like, I've got
outbound
to
on
spend.
Thursday, come back on Friday, leave on Friday again, and then come back on Sunday. Okay, so that's 6. Sorry, so just 6 plane tickets for one
Just
week.
6.
And I'm just like, I'm going to be bankrupt. It's Ubers all over the place,
Right.
And then it turns out we're dark working that week, which means we're not taping shows. We're just coming in the office, and that's usually a lot more casual. So then I asked the head writer, could I work from home / the hotel on Thursday and Friday?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, no problem. So
now you can go on Wednesday and come back on Sunday.
yes, like a regular person.
Like a regular comic. Congratulations.
And I could just relax and think about my set and not use all of my mental energy praying that Southwest is on time. And then praying I get, we don't get stuck in traffic, and then getting to the punchline at 7:20 and the show starts at 7:30 and everyone's like, oh.
Right. And you're trying to tape an album? That's bananas.
Yes. With all that stress.
Yeah. So this is going to be much better.
So happy.
And you're going to record all 5 episodes, all 5
6.
episodes, all 6 shows.
Yeah.
And then what you could do, what do you usually do?
I don't know.
That's right.
I don't have a usual thing. And I'm trying to figure this out very quickly. First, I'm like, I just want to get someone to record this thing. And, but everyone's sort of tied to a record company. So it's hard to get someone. And I'm like, the standard record company deal,
Contract.
they get a lot of your money.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe
we've been having this conversation for years, right? The thing about the masters.
It's
Ray
not even
Charles,
the masters. It's half of the downloads and half of
the streaming.
And I mean, I get that's how it's set up, but part of me's like, this is 10 years of my act.
Yep.
And a record company's getting half of it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
No. Yeah, no. And,
yeah. I mean, or no. I don't know how.
Because you haven't signed yet, have you?
No, I haven't. And maybe I'll just do that and just be like, every time I get a Sound Exchange check, I'll be like, fuck.
Right.
Because I don't have the time to figure out how to do all this shit myself. And the way my life is right now, I go with what's easiest in terms of all that stuff, even if it costs me money. Mm-hmm. And this might be one of those times. I don't know. And maybe I'll have it figured out by the time this thing drops.
Right. You have a month to really think about what to do and what to do contract wise.
Right.
But what to do, I'll tell you what I do, not contract wise, but creatively, right? Which is I record all 7 shows at Acme, Tuesday through Saturday. The last time I think I just did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5. I usually do all 7. I get just rough cuts of the audio, and I figure out at the end of on that Sunday, I listen to 7 hours of my own stand-up comedy. Oh my God. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. You just, what the thing is if you can do it all in one sitting, you already know. But at the end of the week, you already know which was the set that went well.
Right.
So I don't know that I do listen to all 7 hours.
I was thinking, I can make like just a list of all my jokes. And then after each night, at least Wednesday, Thursday,
just
I can
log
go,
what you think went well.
A+, this is a B, this is a B-, whatever.
What you do is you got a set list, right?
Right.
And then, so the Wednesday night show, you're like, this was a great set, and these particular jokes, just put asterisks next to them and say that they popped.
Yes.
And Thursday, same.
Yeah,
Friday,
right,
Saturday.
right.
And then at the end of the week, you're like, well, Saturday first show was the best show. Friday first show was the best show.
Yeah.
It's actually happened that Friday first show has been the best show of the last 2 albums. And what I did, because I would log each of the sets, I was like, except for that, I only did this line in this particular, and I make a note of it. Like Dan Schlissel over at Stand Up Records, I forgot to do a line I did Tuesday, he recorded Tuesday, I did the line. Wednesday and Thursday, I forgot to do the line. Friday, he was like, you're not doing the radiation line about your dad. You got to do that line because that's my favorite joke right now. And so I remembered to do it for the last 4 shows and then got a good read on it, right?
Yeah.
But then so because our timing is relatively by rote, right? It's standardized. You can pull a good version of a joke from a different set.
Oh, sure.
And just pop it in.
Yeah.
And by logging each night and just putting an asterisk, you don't have to write a tome. Just go, oh, this joke went really well tonight.
Yeah.
And then if there are nights when that joke did not go well, you're like, not tonight.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's going to be really cool though.
I'm thrilled that I don't have that kind of stress.
Yeah. That's amazing that you're just going to get to go and then come home like a person.
The first night I did Roosters, it was Thursday and I left right after the show, and
Friday.
Well, no, I didn't have to come back.
No, right.
But that night I was exhausted and I was worried. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have myself do this 3 nights and I'm supposed to be at my best self. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be able to get sleep and rest and I'll be alone and his dad will be doing all the, so I have no guilt.
Right.
The guilt also ruins my life.
Yes.
The only time I don't feel guilty about leaving my son is when he's with his dad.
Because he likes his dad.
Yes. It's either one or the other. So.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And, I think it's, and then I just, the only other thing I do is I tend to just light because the reason I do all of that work with time codes and figuring out what set to use and all that stuff is because then I can just give the label all of the information about my product, my jokes, because I know how I want it done. And then I pick how I cut them. And then I'm told that I've cut them too short or too long. And then, or I think to myself, I've cut them too long. I've got to make this, because I just recut for Sirius. Horcrux, and which is my third album, right? So I've done Bread, and I got help from
so much work, Jackie.
And I got help from Dom, from
Blonde Medicine.
From Blonde Medicine, helping me with keywords and tags and all this stuff. Super nice of him. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going through Horcrux, and I'm like, well, he's not going to have time to go through each of these albums with me. So I asked him one question. He hasn't had a chance to get to it, but on Horcrux, there are 6 tracks.
Yeah.
That should be 2 tracks.
Right.
And essentially, one track should be me going to Iraq, and one track should be me not going to Afghanistan.
Okay.
And they're both as one track, they're 8 minutes jokes, which will be perfect for Sirius because they love an 8-minute joke.
Oh,
they only have to pay you once.
Right. That's a drum solo for that, as far as they're concerned. Yeah.
Yes. And so it is. I'm a huge, so I recut the tracks to those things, and then I made the MP3s and I put it all together, and then I put in all the keywords and the genres and the track titles and all these things, but I don't know what to use for the code. There's a code on every track of every album that Sound Exchange has, the ISRC code.
Right.
Well, I don't know what code to use because there's 6 tracks now made 2. So maybe I could just use the first of each of them. Like the one is like, the first one has the word Iraq. It's called something about going to Iraq. And the second one is called something about going to Afghanistan. Maybe I could just use those 2 initial codes. What
Iraq, not Afghanistan?
Yeah.
As a title?
Well, Iraq, I was just thinking of pulling the track title from the first of the 3 tracks of Iraq, and the first of the 3 tracks about Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah, that's 6.
And using those IRSCs. But I don't know.
Seems logical to me.
Does anyone know? Does anyone?
At Comedy Magic, do you know Daphnique? She's a comic.
No.
She's very funny.
Sounds great.
She's really good on social media. Mm-hmm. And I'm when I sit with people like that, I'm like, my jaw is agape, my mouth is open. I'm like, how do you? And she does Facebook Live like 4 times a week.
4 times a week.
Yes, and she just chats with fans. And she kind of,
I think Liz Winstead does too.
She got off Instagram. She just was like, I can't monetize it, but she can monetize Facebook Live, I guess. Or Facebook Live ties into things she's monetizing.
You kind of have to pick too, right? And people are doing TikTok and whatever, and I can't face any of the new ones. And
right, but the other thing, like I'm so disgusted by Facebook and Russia and the election. Part of me is like, to fucking participate in enriching Mark Zuckerberg makes me sick to my stomach. But I do want to have a good career.
Right. And I still want to go to Whole Foods. So,
I know, but is there any good one? I mean, he owns Instagram, so it's not like Instagram is any better.
Right. Facebook guy owns Instagram too. So there's Twitter, and then there's the
Twitter's garbage as well.
Right. The cesspool that is,
it's all fucking garbage. The social media stuff we have to do. I mean, the things we have to participate in.
You know what I like to do? I like to go to Snapchat and dress up like an egg.
Does Snapchat, is that owned by anybody, or are they a solo?
I think they're alone still, but because they were making money,
right?
And then they stopped making money, and so then it became kind of passé.
Oh, right.
And it's sort of. There's not as many people there as there were.
Yeah.
But I still love those face things.
You do.
So I'm just going to stay on Snapchat and have a good time there. And then Instagram, I'm still trying to figure out Instagram. I just want to do comedy. I just want to do stand up.
I know. And then most of what I love about Twitter is I like writing jokes.
Yeah.
I like getting involved in little tiffs. I enjoy that.
Sure.
So I enjoy it. So it's not work to me.
Yeah.
In fact, I put more work into it than I do anything else. But it was just interesting to watch her when she was describing it to Dana Eagle and myself, and then she just started doing a live, and then she had like 1,200 comments on a 1-minute video that she has like 900,000 followers on Facebook.
Wow.
On her, I guess it's her fan page, right?
Right. Facebook fan page.
I haven't even converted to a fan page.
I have a fan page, and I just hooked up my Instagram to my fan page, but then when I put something family on my Instagram, I'm like, oh, let's go to my Let's go to Jokesmith.
Well, you can
Jackie
you can take that off, right? Yeah.
I untick it, and then sometimes I still have to follow it and delete it off of my... Because I don't know that they need to see Andy wrestling with dogs.
I think
even
they
though
do.
They kind of want to.
Oh, that's what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me just get this album situation taken care of, and then let's pivot to this shit. I also have like most of my old sets digitized now, and it's taking up 700 gigabytes of my
almost a terabyte.
I got a terabyte iMac, and it's almost filled up.
Wow. Are you hoping to cut these into chunks and get them captioned and put them up on Instagram?
Yeah, or just I have some ideas of what to do.
Did you log any of that stuff while you digitized it?
No, I didn't watch it. I had it go on in the background. Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting to see yourself in your different stages of life, and even though like it, I mean, I was recorded a lot. You know, I'm 23, I'm 29, I'm 41, and you know, it's a weird way to follow a life,
right.
You know,
that is. There's a documentary in you, Kilmartin. There's a documentary of just watching you turn into a better comic. Did I tell you that guy
and an old woman?
That guy told me stop. That guy told me that he listened to my albums backwards.
Yeah.
He's a radio guy. He
Yeah.
told me, and it was like listening to me become a less good comic.
Oh my God.
And he meant it as a compliment, and I was
Awful.
like, don't even. How about do you just say that you like the early stuff too? Or you didn't like it as much as you like?
Right.
I don't know what I wanted you to say, but it wasn't that.
Just, hey, thanks. I'll play this as much as possible.
Yeah. And I now have an entertainment lawyer.
Oh.
Pardon me. It's expensive. But I've gotten too many contracts.
How many percent?
Well, if I get a big deal, they'll get a 10%, kind of like a manager.
Right. So it's not 10% of your total income. It's 10% of
whatever the
contracts that
now
they
I need to look at the contract again.
I thought entertainment lawyers took just
10%
a generic
of
10% or 5% or some percent, but it was nonstop.
Well, they don't get it. I will be in breach of contract of my lawyers if that's what's happening. And these guys seem like good guys, so I can't imagine. But I believe it to be 10% of what.
So why
they
did
do
you
for me.
decide to do this?
Because I got several contracts in a row, and I can't. If I don't know, if I try to read it and I don't get it, I can't sign it.
Right.
So I got the one from George about terrestrial radio. That's the first one they did for me. They did pro bono because Chris Mancini hooked me up with them.
I totally don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I've had 3 contracts recently. They've looked at one of them. I finally sat down with the third one and buried my head in the sand and was like, figure out what the fuck this says. Because it's all this legalese. And the longer the contract, the more I feel like they're hiding something. Right?
Yeah. Right.
And I don't think I'm wrong.
Right.
So the first one was this contract I got from that company, these bastards.
Oh, right. Yes.
And it was, they essentially wanted me to do a Dork Forest as a video. But the contract was, and the woman who hooked me up with it, very nice woman, who used to work here and was really nice. I talked with her a great deal in New York, and she was like, I want to do a Dork Forest web series. And I was like, oh, great. And she's like, can you get the more famous of your guests to come on again and do a Dork Forest? And I was like, yeah. Totally can do it. Fred Armisen said he would do it.
I am available.
Well, we have got to do a swimming Dork Forest. I think would be hilarious. But I get the contract. I read the contract. I don't understand the contract. Again, there are no dollar signs.
Right.
There's not enough percentages. I don't know I can't figure it out. So I asked Chris Mancini if he has an entertainment lawyer, and he's like, this guy is really a good guy. So I go to this guy, and he's like, here's what I'll do. I'll take a look at it, see if it's going to take a lot of my time. If it does, I'll charge you. If it doesn't, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It ended up taking a fair amount of his time, but he called me back and he said, I'm not going to charge you. This is a terrible contract, just so you know. And by the way, my agent was the first one who looked at the contract and said, you need a lawyer because this doesn't look good.
Oh, shit.
So TJ could tell that it wasn't good. So then I went to the lawyer, and the lawyer said that if I signed it, they were going to guarantee me 5 episodes of Dork Forest web series. But in that, they would then have rights to the backlog.
Oh my God, that's
600 episodes.
That's
and
awful.
They could replace the host.
Oh my God! What? What the fuck?
Right. So right, and I was like, okay. And so I talked to the woman, and she was like,
so they could keep the name Dork Forest and just
and
all
and all the audio.
Oh my God!
The $600 of audio, and so I told her that, and she was like, "What the hell does it say?" And I said, "I know." And she said, "Well, let me go talk to them and come back." And I said, "No. Anyone who would write this contract
is
evil.
Yeah, right.
They're trying to steal something from people who don't have lawyers or don't have enough, support.
I think I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And so that was the first contract.
Right.
The second contract, George. And I was like, what is it? And so it cost me more than what George paid me for the year to have them look at it. But I was like, I would kind of like to have these guys look at it.
Yeah.
And they explained it, and it's good. And so I just paid that bill. And now a new contract, I was like, maybe I'll send this one to them. And then I had Andy read it. And then I read it again. And he was like, this is what it says. And I said, so it doesn't say these other things. And he goes, it does not say those other things. That's so weird that it doesn't say those other things. Mm-hmm. And it was an advertising contract from All Things Comedy. Mm-hmm. And it is, which is where the Dork Forest is. And it essentially... It's a way to monetize the backlog. There's a new thing, and it was created, or the first time I saw it was Matt Belknap from Never Not Funny. Mm-hmm. He owns Art19, right?
Right.
Or I believe he founded it. So Art19 is like Libsyn. They host podcasts. Okay. But he's got something in the algorithm. There's a way to go back as you record, and you can go back and put little tick marks in every episode. And the tick marks are where ads go in. And so you upload an ad, it plays in everything that anyone listens to on a particular date.
Okay.
Through a particular date. It's a great way to monetize your backlog.
Sure.
So, I'm almost boring myself.
No, I think it's fascinating.
And it's important.
Yes.
Right? So if you're not fascinated, I'm sorry, but it is important.
Yeah.
So but the thing is so the company that sent this, not All Things Comedy, this other company they're like, we have that technology too. We can monetize your backlog. And I was like, who's putting the tick in? Who's going through 600 episodes and putting the tick in? And they're like, well, maybe we would hire someone to do that. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So, but that would be great. Right. But the thing is, and then I'm reading the contract, and I'd also been sent, a list of advertisers. And they're like, just tell us which advertisers you don't want to do. The really nice guy from All Things Comedy was like, I can't imagine you're going to want to advertise for dick pills. Can't imagine. You're going to want to run that ad.
But Jackie, I think we know from a previous podcast, no one likes dick like you.
I love dick, but dick pills, that seems artificial enhancement. I was like, I might as well just use a Pokey Stick. Anyway, so
that sounds awful.
It does sound. It really does. That's not what a vibrator is. It's not a Pokey Stick.
That sounds like a crime that happens in Afghanistan to young girls
or the Supreme Court. So, bam. But here's the thing: that the contract doesn't say that I get to pick the ads. It says they get to pick the ads. Mm-hmm. The advertising company.
Okay.
So if I don't want to do dick pills. So sad, too bad. The contract I'm about to sign says that they can run dick pills.
But you don't have to actually
do the ad. No,
like,
they could run whatever ads they want.
What do you care?
Because anecdotally, I was then talking to another advertising company, the one that I work with right now, and they, this is an anecdote. We don't know if it's true, but there was a podcast that signed that contract, and this advertising company ran a Trump ad during their in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Just arbitrarily ran a political ad that they did not believe in.
Wow.
So they can run whatever. Like if you want to run, an anti-Planned Parenthood ad or, some weird
oh my God.
Church of Latter-day Saints.
Sure, of course.
I would like a say.
Yeah.
So I was looking at, and so together with Andy's brain and my brain, we saw the things that were missing. And so I emailed All Things Comedy. I said, I can't do this because it also means that I can't keep my current advertising agency, which, by the way, is amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you making money?
I'm making some money.
That's
just
cool.
enough money to not want to stop doing it. But not enough money for
it
me
might
to
get
seek.
better. It could get better.
It could get better.
So
it did get better.
Could they also go through your back episodes?
They cannot.
Okay.
Because all of my ads, I read them.
Okay.
They're my reads,
Right.
and I have to place them. So they're hard placements. There's no tick.
Oh, I see.
The tick is a good idea. Putting like a little stopper.
Genius.
And Matt Belknap is a genius.
Genius.
Oh, I would also have to move my podcast, The Dork Forest, to Art 19 instead of Libsyn, and I'm bored already. So I don't want to do
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
like Jackie and Laurie's hosted over at Libsyn too. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's a great story, but I have lawyer issues is what I'm saying.
That's very exciting.
Yep. What about this?
I almost had an entertainment lawyer.
Oh, yeah?
But then I just I met with them and I'm like,
I don't need them yet.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't need them until you need them.
Right.
And I probably don't need them yet either. Though I have to look now and see if it's, because I thought I read 10% of things that they get for me.
That's probably the case.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because he's a good guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been talking to him on the phone a couple of times and he's been very supportive.
Right.
And there are decent people in the world who are lawyers. So try not to freak out occasionally.
Lisa Bloom, for example, what a great lawyer.
Who's she?
Oh,
Damn it.
she was
You
Gloria. She's Gloria Allred's daughter, but she it just came out, although this will be like a month later, that she was counseling Harvey Weinstein and said, I'm very qualified because I've represented the roses of the world, Rose McGowan.
Okay.
And so I really know how to make them discredit them because I understand them. Yeah. She was, she was canceled on Twitter a couple days ago, Jackie.
Was she?
Yeah. Who knows what'll happen,
Good.
but it's pretty nasty.
Wow, that is nasty. There's every worm people, man. They're just wandering the streets, just out in the world. Whack-a-mole. But
where are we?
oh, where are we? Good point. We are at 2634, which I think we should do a Max Fun.
Okay.
I'm Travis McElroy.
I'm Courtney Enlow.
I'm Brent Black, and we're the hosts of Trends Like These.
Trends Like These is an internet news show where we take the stories trending on social media and go beyond the headlines.
We'll give you the actual facts of the story and not just the knee-jerk reactions.
Plus, we end every episode with a ray of hope that we call the Wi-Fi of the Week.
So join us every Friday on Maximum Fun.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Trends Like These. Real-life friends talking internet trends.
And then we should also do Comic of the Week. Just
Yes.
a little bit early. How is it possible that Christina Walkinshaw, Canadian comic,
And friend.
and friend, and killing it on the cruise ship tours?
Oh, shit. Oh, really?
Yeah. She's killing it, she said.
That's great.
And get this, the new cruise ship stand-up comedy is clubs.
I heard it's like more fun.
Yeah.
It's not
Christina
awful.
Walkinshaw, by the way, is at Walkinsauce, WALKINSAUCE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like Christopher Walken and then
Right.
sauce. But yeah.
And she's great.
I
So
want to
find
work
her.
a cruise just once. Or
Well-
maybe forever at some point.
You know, Joko Cruise, you'd be surrounded by a lot of nerds, but you know who'd like it? The boy.
Well, who knows what he...
Because there'd be art.
Oh.
Because there's comic book artists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he'd be all in. But that has to work. I'm just saying one day when I don't... It's, all good
future
things
time.
come to an end. So at some point, I would love to work a cruise.
Well, and she was telling me that it's just a standard club setup, and there are
you have to
clean
be-
shows.
yeah.
There are clean shows, but there are dirty shows.
Right.
And then the rest of the shows are just shows. So she's like, okay.
So does she have to do all of them?
I believe you do the full week, but you do them with two other comics.
Okay. And so you don't have to, I could not do 50 clean, cruise ship
squeaky.
clean.
Like cruise ship-
I'm not saying not even swearing.
I don't think that the cruise ship clean exists in this situation.
Okay.
I think clean is just TV clean,
Okay.
which becomes blurrier every day,
I know.
blessedly. Mm-hmm. And but Christina Walkinshaw is a delight.
Oh, yeah. She's very funny.
So my next topic is you have something to give away
I do.
out here.
Did you hear somebody right outside?
Yeah, I did. Maybe
I
someone
wonder
took
if they
it.
took it.
That'd be great. We've had a refrigerator
check.
in our garage, outside our garage, for 2 weeks. I'm just gonna. Finally, she's gone, you guys. Oh wait, she's rising. The garage door is a nice touch. For those of you who are listening, we're really in a garage. I might just fall into your pool after this. Holy smokes, I am very warm.
It's pretty hot.
Is the pool's hot?
No, the pool's nice and chilly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a treadmill that I got a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. What about that rowing machine? That's beautiful, but would you? Because it's gorgeous, but do you use it?
Oh, it's got to go.
It's got to go as well.
I got to sell it. Yeah. I that one, because I hurt my knee on the fucking treadmill. Yeah. I'm not a runner. Okay. I can only do one sport and it's swimming. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm fine with, now I'm like, I've got my routine. I love swimming and I love yoga. Okay. But I was running for a while and I really fucked up my knees for a long time. And so I got the rowing machine. I liked it, but I don't love it. Mm-hmm. I don't like working out where I live. I like to go someplace. I like to not
to get out of the house.
Yes. Yeah.
Separate of church and state.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. And so I have my routine and I have the things I love to do. And that's got to go as well.
I'm loath to ask, but I must ask.
Yeah.
Wasn't your mother using the?
Yeah, she doesn't. She's not working out anymore.
Oh, so she's done doing it because she's wiping out. She's fallen down.
Yeah,
so.
She's sliding into home base.
Yeah. So there's no need to keep the treadmill.
There isn't, and it takes up there's barely any space here. It takes up a huge amount of space, and I kind of want to. I moved my desk to where the treadmill was, so maybe I can kind of have an office-y thing with the laundry.
With the laundry, what is this room used for when we're not blessedly in it?
I don't know. I don't really. The garage, I don't really.
Yeah, you don't use it as a garage.
No.
And nobody is in, she's not in here.
No, she won't live here.
She won't live out in the garage. I tried
to get her to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could put a wall up right there and just turn it into an
apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I should let homeless people live here.
The boy could live here.
I figured at some point he's going to want to be out here with friends, but we're all in one very tiny living room all the time.
Right.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It's but at least it's amicable.
We're cozy. We're a cozy family.
It's right now I'm in France.
Wow. At a museum of tiny porcelain
Easily,
animals.
possibly a railroad train track diorama. We don't know. But there's Roman ruins in Lyon. And then we're going to go look at those caves in the middle of France. I'm doing Duolingo, a half an hour a day.
A half hour? Yep. That's not bad.
It's I'm remembering a lot of French, and I have to tell you, nothing is more intimidating. I talked to my friend of mine who speaks fluent French, and he was like, "Well, let us speak." And I said, "Let us not." I will speak French when I am forced to speak French.
It's a tough language. You have to swallow a lot.
My accent is actually the only thing good about my French is my accent. My conjugating of verbs, my vocabulary, not great.
I like Spanish because how it's written is how you say it.
Did you take Spanish?
Yeah, la cocina, right? I probably just said it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. It's pretty much how it is.
I took
and
5
French
semesters
is like EAUX and all this extra shit that it's unnecessary.
Right, but if you took 5 semesters of French, you would be like, "Oh, that's how it should be pronounced."
Right.
Like when I was in Italy, I was pronouncing Italian as French, and they were not pleased. And so. All I know is that we're going to travel around France and irritate the French by trying to speak French. But is it going to be less irritating than not trying at all? I think so.
Give it a try. I ordered squid by accident in Luxembourg, and when it came to my table, I almost threw up on it. I mean, there were tentacles. I
don't understand how you've reached this age and not. I had squid last night. And it was delicious.
Oh my God.
It was I had
Dude, you're sick to your stomach all the time. Maybe you should stop with the squid.
It's not the squid's fault. It's really?
It was revolting. I sent it back. I didn't send it back. I just didn't eat it. I just ate more bread.
Oh my God.
Which is really, if I could just have that at every meal, I'd be okay.
Right. They had amazing bread last night, too. We went to this Cajun place in Visalia that I was telling you about last episode, and it was delicious. Andy got the fish. His mom got the scallops and shrimp on top of angel hair, and I got lamb chops because it seemed like a very plain at least just a grilled lamb chop. I can do that with some buttered noodles, linguine, and some steamed vegetables.
I am on my 3rd week of almost only eating sourdough toast with butter and jam.
Interesting.
I can't stop.
Andy's
Part of me is
mom-
like, I wonder if my body just needs something that's in jam and sourdough toast. Like maybe I'm listening to my body, but that's all I crave.
Yeah. I took because my stomach hurts so bad, I was like, what if I'm pregnant? So I took a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out I'm not pregnant. We're happy to know that I'm not gestating a pile of elbows.
Were you excited at the time? I mean, it is exciting while you're waiting for your answer.
You always think to yourself, literally I was terrified.
Right.
I was like, what would I do? What would I do? What would I do?
Right.
It would be because one of my ovaries is still not shooting blanks. One of my ovaries still popping out eggs. So it could possibly happen. Mm-hmm. But I don't.
I only have one ovary.
You have one ovary?
I have like 1.5. Yeah, I had an ovarian cyst when I was 20 and they took it out. So they took out half the ovary.
Oh, wow.
That's another reason I thought, I'll never get pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did, yeah, so I was literally just thinking, we're gonna have to figure out what this fetus is. Is it, what would it be?
Is it viable?
Yeah, all that kind of thing. And,
were you worried about your career?
And I dyed my hair purple. Do the drapes match the carpets? You always wonder. Remember that Patton Oswalt joke about 54-year-old women having gray pubic hair and babies?
No,
it was a classic. I don't know I don't know what album it's on.
Yeah,
I saw him do it live at UCB one time.
And were you angry?
And I was vaguely angry, but I was also amused. I was like, "You are not wrong." Because he was something about how you don't want to see a baby crowning through gray pubic hairs, and it was a very, very evocative image.
Ouch! But it's funny.
It's an evocative image.
Chappelle had a kind of a joke about 36-year-old women that was also ouch, but funny.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That is funny.
Yes. Yeah, 36.
36,
yeah, that's when
poor
it ends.
kids. Yeah. It's
Didn't you have 2 stories, Jackie?
I did. It was I have this one. Who knew I'm the kind of headliner that can't bring her own feature. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
Well, I'm doing a bunch of clubs and a bunch of people want a feature for me.
Sure.
And so I said, and here's the thing, comics who are listening who want a feature for me, know in your heart that it'd be great if I met you at the club and then we became friends. For me to say I would like this person I do not know to be my feature,
right,
is a couple problems with it. One, I don't know your stand-up well enough, and second of all, we don't know each other.
And third of all, there are people that like
who
hundreds.
I do want to, hundreds of comics who want to come and travel that I like and I want to hang out with.
Right,
Carmen Morales, Winter Spears, Brandy Posey. I brought Brandy to Acme last year.
Oh, cool.
I'm bringing Carmen to Acme this year. And because Lewis doesn't care.
Right.
Lewis is like, oh, and I'm like, who do I want to hang out with for 7 shows?
Right.
And probably during the day.
Yeah.
I would like to have lunch with. That'd be Brandy. It'd be you,
But I hole up. There's no one I want to hang out with.
Right. You want to just sit in the, that's what, Regan, one time I opened for Brian Regan and it was just us, no Live Nation guy.
Yeah.
And so we happened to be standing at the check-in together in Montana. And I turned to him and I said, so what happens tomorrow? Did you want to have lunch? And he goes, never.
Yes.
He said, I just like to be in my room and I like to sleep most of that day. And then I do some phone calls and then I come and do a show.
Sure.
And we hang out.
That's the way to do it.
And then when we have dinner or drinks afterwards.
Yeah.
With it'll maybe local comics or the Live Nation guy. And then we go back to our rooms and do it again the next day. And I'm like,
right.
Oh, I'm so on board. Right.
Yeah. You just need to be alone and prep and be in your head and let your head spin around.
When I travel with Maria, we might do Joke Machine or we might have coffee or a meal together.
Yeah.
If we're working together for a week, we might do it every other day. Right. And because we hang out at the show and then we hang out.
Yeah.
It's fun. But that's what I want to do, right? I want to do it with someone who I'm already friends with, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But and I appreciate that you've asked, and you have to ask because you have a career as well. Mm-hmm. So I asked the club if I could bring a friend, and the club said no. And they said, tell us what she's looking for. We'll try to fulfill that.
Oh, right.
And I said, the human that is named this person.
Yeah.
That is what I'm looking for. But then I was thinking about it. Get this.
They do have a local scene that they're trying to support, right?
Everybody has a local scene that they're trying to support, and that's great. And I understand if that's the vibe.
Yes.
But here's what I've seen other comics do. Mm-hmm. Some of them men, some of them not men. Mm-hmm. So I might try to do this the next time I want to bring somebody feature. It comes up. I might just say, "Hey, I'm bringing this person," and then see how that works. Because I think that's how people do it.
I think
that's how. I think that's how it's done. I think you don't say, "Hey, can I bring somebody?"
Right.
Because then they get to say no.
Right. That's true.
And remember last year I brought Andy Erickson, and what's his face is like, well, and even Lewis is like, do they have somewhere to stay local? And the money isn't great. And I'm like, features know that they're being screwed. More so than ever.
At least if you're using a local person,
they live there.
They live there. Yeah.
And they might be making a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
And I could bump it if I make good money,
Yeah.
But if you want to get in a club, and I use stand-up as the example, but I remember in the 90s, him just going to clubs he wasn't booked at to do guest sets and sleeping in his car.
Oh my God.
And it was something I never wanted to do.
Right.
Thus did not do it. And thus did not work many clubs. Like I hear you talking about working those Southern rooms. I never did work those Southern rooms, but I tried to submit a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the guy blew me off every time.
Yeah. I sent him a tape. And he would give me 4 weeks at a time. And so I'd fly into Atlanta and then rent a car. So that...
I think you had West Coast cred. Because I had Midwest no cred.
Oh, I see. I don't know. But it was terrible money. But I was living with my parents and I only had to have a car payment. That was all I paid for.
You had a car payment?
Yeah, I had a
my
Chevy Blazer.
First car payment in 2004, I believe, 2005.
Because I was doing so many of these Tribble one-nighters.
Yeah.
And
and you had to be the one.
What?
To drive?
No. It was because I wanted to look like a man on the road, so I bought a brand new Chevy Blazer. And it was like, I wanted, if like rapists are driving on the I-5, I want them to go, oh, there's a dude in there. No way.
Right, because otherwise it would have been, remember the cars that everybody, we all wanted, Mazda Miata.
Oh, right.
A lot of girls would that was like the big thing in college was like the Mazda Miata.
Yeah.
And,
my payment was $238 a month.
Well, that's not bad.
Well, I guess not. It sounds like a ghastly amount of money to me. I couldn't fathom it. It's like $14,000. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, when I got my first car, it was a 2003 Toyota Corolla. That was my first. I bought it in 2005, and as I went around the car dealership, I hate haggling so very much, as you can imagine. And so the guy said, "So, what about this car?" And I said, "Well, I don't want a red car, so I will take this car, but I need it to be $200 a month." And he goes, "Oh, I can do $214." And I said, "The number I chose is not arbitrary. It has to be $200 because that's what I can budget." And he goes. And we do this for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
and
my
God. He goes
God.
away. He comes back and he's like, "I beat it. $199."
Oh.
And I was like, "You could have had the buck." Because I don't care.
Is that Andy? Is that how you met Andy? Is that Andy the salesman in that story?
He
that
is
would
not.
Be, oh, damn it.
No, Andy, get this. This was the type of thing. You will be devastated by this story because this is a supportive partner story. Oh. You don't want to hear it.
No.
So
I don't believe it, first of all. I think it's a lie right off the bat.
We met in 2003, right? Online dating. Mm-hmm. By 2004, we were living together.
Okay.
I was terrified. Mm-hmm. I wanted to keep my apartment and sublet it like mad about, like Paul Reiser's TV show.
Okay.
He subletted Mad About You. He subletted Kramer's apartment on Seinfeld.
Oh,
they were in the same universe.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I never watched Mad About You.
I never watched Seinfeld.
Really?
I
haven't seen I've seen some, but I haven't. I was just on the road. I was out every night.
Right, but
Looking at must-see TV, guess what? I had spots.
But the reruns were dense. That's when I saw a lot of Mad About You and a lot of Friends.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I had this 1989 323 Mazda hatchback that I was driving on the road. And Andy had a 1997 Jeep Eagle Talon. And he was like, that's a death trap. And it was 2003, right? And I was like, well, it is the car that I have, and when it breaks down, I could push it to the side of the road because it's very light.
That's what you want in a car?
That's what I want
Something
in a car.
light enough to push to the side of the road?
By myself.
Oh my God.
That was my road dream.
Oh, my God.
And it worked like, the thing is I could almost fix it. The 89 Mazda 323 hatchback was great. And so before I met Andy, you know how like there's always did you ever have a guy that, this is a parallel story. Did you ever have a guy that you could call that would help you? I've always had a guy friend that I could call. That was it?
Yeah.
Like you never had a male comic that you're like, I'm in trouble. Can you help?
No.
I had Big
like
Tall Larry.
Car-wise?
Well, car and shitty male comic wise. Big Tall Larry helped me out in the 90s in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And Joe Wilson of Vampire Mob. You ever meet Joe? He used to be the co-host of Dork Forest.
Oh, okay.
First 3 or 4 years. He was and he's moving. It's very sad. Went out to dinner with him last week. Him and his wife their parents are both very old and they live in Albany. So he's got to move to Albany, New York,
where my ancestors are from.
Yeah.
Could Joe stop by the cemetery?
Joe TV, you guys. Joe Wilson TV. Let's get a Twitter hashtag going. And but whatever. But so I had this car, and once I met Andy, Joe, I didn't have to call Joe. And it was kind of great for Joe. Because I would occasionally, because that car was such a piece of shit, I would call Andy. And so by 2004, Andy was like, I hate this car. Can you please buy a new car? And so we moved in 2004, and he said, I will give you $4,000 to buy a new car. And I was like, what? Nobody's ever given me $4,000 for anything.
Me neither.
Yeah. I once had to ask my brother Russ to lend me $3,000 for a DUI.
Yeah.
And he said...
Maybe that's why they're not giving you money.
Well,
it's going right to the courts.
Right. Well, and the thing is that's what... and that's not true now. I mean, my family's been very supportive. Yeah. But my sister actually helped pay for the DVD, the Horcrux DVD.
Oh, nice.
She forgot about it entirely. And my brother Russ offered to be an investor, but he wanted Sound Exchange money.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, nope. And so the thing with so Andy gave me $4,000 to buy this damn Corolla, and so my payment was $200. And so it was one of these things where I was like, it didn't, like, when we moved in together, so we started dating in 2003, and 6 months into dating, he was like, I'm thinking of buying a house. Will you help me pick it? Because I'd like you to move in with me.
Aww.
Very sweet.
Wow.
Terrifying.
Sure.
Emotionally, the most terrifying thing in my life. And
oh my God.
It's like when the first time, and I've wanted to do a bit about this, because the first time he said, I love you, we were in a car, and he said, I love you. And I said back to him, I think I love you.
Oh my God.
And then he said,
you're an awful lady.
I know it. And then he said back to me, you love me.
That's so great.
So he wins. And I do love him. And the thing is so it's like, it's one of these things where, you know, he was just making so much more money than me. I had only been doing comedy for 20 years.
Yeah.
Of course I wasn't making a living at it.
Mm-hmm.
I was making about $25,000 a year. And, well into the well into the aughts.
Right.
And then, but so when we got married in 2006, and people would be like, you're a comic, do you make a boatload? And he's like, she's my sugar daddy. I'm believing in her. And right now, I am making a lot more money than him. And it's interesting.
Awesome.
Because he said to me like 5 or 6 years ago, when I started making good money for Maria, right? Maria started throwing money at me. He was like, a lot of guys would get intimidated by it when women make more money than they do. And I just want you to know that I don't. Help yourself. Make all the money in the world. And I was like, all right. And so it's like one of the greatest thing about this relationship is that it's a real partnership, you know, because he made the first 8 years that we were together. He made 4 times what I make.
Wow.
And then these last probably, 5 or 6 years, I've made more money than him. And his income has actually gone down, but it's fine.
All of my relationships, there was an imbalance of money. Yeah.
And the thing is the money part, we're all crazy about money. We're all have money issues.
Right.
And
I feel very like I'm saving for my old age.
Yeah.
And you're not getting fucking near it.
Okay.
That's my attitude.
Right.
It's probably not helpful
even though you're
dating.
It may not be, but I will say that it has some preparation in it that no other comics have. Because every other comic I know is just like, who's retiring? What's retiring?
I was like that, and then you're like, oh, I'm this.
But I think the kid changed everything.
Sure. Definitely.
Were you saving for your retirement before the kid?
I don't. Maybe I had a little bit because I had a couple jobs. Like when I was
like
at
401k matching kind of
yes,
jobs.
When I was at IAC, which was Barry Diller's, he owned 23/6.
Okay,
with the Ariana Huffington and whatever.
Okay,
so they had it was like the first exposure to official company stuff, but they had a matching thing that I said, oh, yeah, I'll.
I'm sure
max
your dad
it
was
out.
like, of course you're doing the 401k matching thing.
I didn't talk to my dad about it.
Oh no. Oh,
my dad wasn't good with money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, I just maxed it out. They just took it out of the paycheck, and I didn't look at it. And it's it's doing.
Fine.
I mean, the stock market's gone up incredibly since 2007 when
when we
started there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I was.
Oh,
buying
did you get in at the low point?
Yeah.
Sweet, lucky you.
Well, I was only there a year, and I just left it alone, and
Yeah.
it just continues to do whatever it's doing. So that's a nice little. I think of that as free money because I barely put anything into it, and I don't, I mean, it's the same money as any other money.
Let's plug another Max Fun show, shall we?
Okay.
Hey, I'm Aneke.
And I'm James. And together, we are the self-proclaimed Wonder Twins of podcasting and host Minority Corner.
We tackle subjects like LGBTQ topics, pop culture,
and untold histories of American POCs, like the true story of escaped slave turned pirate turned Navy man in the Civil War turned Congressman Robert Smalls.
plus current events from our perspective.
Deep dive movie and TV reviews. You'll also get
Awesome book recommendations from their neighborhood-friendly librarian.
Don't forget my award-winning Jennifer Hudson impressions. And I'm telling you.
While never taking ourselves too seriously.
Minority Corner, because together,
We're the majority.
every Friday here on
Maximum Fun.
We're back. And we're almost done. We're
Are
at
we?
52.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. So this week you're here, but
Jackie,
looking for work.
I was engaged to my son's father, and if we had gotten divorced, he would have half of my apartment in New York, which means I would have had to sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, God.
That you didn't pull the trigger on that.
God.
Yeah. That's bananas.
That's my complete backup plan if everything else goes haywire.
land.
You know what I mean?
Land.
Yeah. But I want my son to have it. Yeah, I want his son to have it. His daughters. This is our stake in Manhattan. We will never let it go.
This 600 square foot apartment in Harlem.
700 square feet. Excuse me.
Just think, you could say to him, son, and that's what you like to call him. You like to call him son. One day you too will have a roommate.
That's true.
Yeah, the retirement, my retirement plan, it's so funny. We just sat through this pyramid scheme pitch that I don't, whenever Andy says yes, because he loves talking to salespeople.
He does?
He loves it.
Interesting.
Possibly why he likes talking to me.
Yes.
Because I
oh
come
my God.
from those, because literally last night at dinner, so I show up at the door. I'm a little bit ahead of Andy and his mom. And so the guy at the door says, how many will it be? And I said 3. And he said, okay, would you like to sit downstairs? There's a live band. And I said, no. And he goes, well, there's an upstairs dining area. And I said, yes, please. Do you have an elevator? Because my mother-in-law, she's got a cane. And he goes, yes, we do. And so we go around, and for some reason, I turn into Elliot
Cajun restaurant in Fresno has an elevator?
Yeah, it has a fine dining restaurant upstairs. It's called Crawdaddy's.
Okay.
And the fine dining menu doesn't have anything Cajun on it. And then the downstairs live band menu is available upstairs as well.
Okay.
So there's etouffee and whatever. We did a variety. So it's a great story. The great thing is I started doing that thing that my dad does. He goes, "Oh, my name's Elliot. What's your name?" And so I introduced myself to Ernie from Crawdaddy's, and I introduced
Ernie. That's such a great Louisiana name.
it's a great Visalia name.
Sure.
And that guy, he got to the ground floor of almonds. Who knows what's happening in Ernie's life? I all I know is that if he works with anyone named Bert, he's the cheerful one.
Okay.
Was
this entire afternoon leading up to that joke?
No, that was riffing. That was me riffing. So this week I will be in France. So I will probably not be doing a set in Paris because I haven't contacted them.
Don't.
Though I might look into it.
Don't bother. It'll ruin your day.
It'll just
ruin your day. You'll be tense all day with Andy. Just fucking enjoy France.
I might just enjoy France.
Yeah.
Will we go see Can people? Will we go see the Can? We don't know what we're doing in Paris. Get this. We have everything.
I didn't have anything planned either. You'll find stuff. Guess what? It's Paris. You're good.
Paris. It'll be
taken care of.
Well, I was just looking on the web about Lyon and where to go. There's an old town Lyon that we walk around. Then there's a funicular that takes you up to the Basilica.
Oh, it's a funicular?
There's one in, have you ever done Pittsburgh?
No.
Okay.
But I didn't take I don't know what a funicular is.
It's a ski lifty thing that goes up a hill. And, so it's a buck in Pittsburgh. And it went down to the comedy club.
Jeff Schneider never told me about it.
Well, didn't you stay with Jeff Schneider in the condo at the top of the funicular?
No.
Oh, weird. Because I stayed in the condo with Mitch
the
Fatel.
Booker?
No,
Jeff Schneider was the owner of the club.
Right, and he owned the club, and he said you should just take the funicular down to the club.
No, he never fucking told me that. I would like to know that.
You should have known that. That club's not there anymore. But let's not get mad about it now.
All right.
And then, but there is one of those ski lifty things that goes up to the Basilica that you could see all of Lyon.
Yeah.
And then you walk back down, and as you walk down, there's 2 Roman amphitheaters that you can go look at. And then you get all the way down, and then you have lunch in Old Town Lyon.
That's amazing. Okay.
It should be amazing.
In
what
Paris.
Are you doing? Oh, wait.
Oh, well, go if they still have that carnival, that amusement park or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's only open in the summertime, but I don't know when their summer ends. But when they would shut it down. But it's right near the Louvre. It's so fun. My son and I went on this ride that's a ball. It thrusts you up in the air at least 100 meters up in the air, or 100 yards.
It just throws you up into the sky.
And you're turning and you're spinning and you're spinning and you see the Eiffel Tower, it's lit, and so sometimes you're upside down.
I might Snapchat that.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I was screaming, and they take video of it. I have video of my son and I screaming on this thing. Oh, it's so great.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Andy kind of wants to go to Disneyland.
Ugh.
Paris Disneyland. We went to Hong Kong Disneyland.
We went to Tokyo Disneyland. It was awful.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Hong Kong Disneyland was amazing.
2 hours and 14 minutes to get to.
Oh, nobody was there in Hong Kong.
Okay. Well, everyone in Japan went on the same day we went.
Okay. Well, we're going to be there in October.
Okay.
So everyone will be back at work.
Maybe.
And so it might be lightly attended.
Okay.
And it might be rainy. It's supposed to be sort of 60s and 70s and rainy in Paris, which I think will look very romantic.
Definitely.
How's it going to not? Though I understand there's a lot of dog poop. Someone was telling me that there's dog poop in Paris, or was that the 70s?
I don't know. There's human poop in Los Angeles, so what do you care?
I don't care. I'm going to Paris. Fuck you people. I'm going to Paris. Anyway, what shows are you doing this week?
I just have stuff in Los Angeles, the 27th and the 28th. Again,
you were looking for work.
Unless somebody drops out and they want to have me.
What would be your ideal place? Who do we want to kill? No, where would you want? Who?
A Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, what's a good Friday, Saturday that you haven't done in a while? Have you ever done New Orleans?
No, I haven't. Is there a Friday, Saturday there?
I haven't heard of one. Sean Patton would know.
It never seems like there's a like a real club in New Orleans that sticks, you know?
Yeah.
They come and go.
Yeah.
There was like a Funny Bone in Baton Rouge that was awful.
Rich Miller wouldn't book me there. Did I dodge a bullet?
Because he cared for you.
Yeah, that's why.
It was like in this giant barn, and the MC was a local MC, so he would murder with local references. And then bring me up, like, you know, from San Francisco, and
oh my God,
what the fuck are you? Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Brutal.
But I've never even been to Louisiana.
But I did swim. They had a good pool.
Did they have a good pool?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should bring a suit to France. It could happen.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, you've got the ocean right there.
The French
the
Ocean?
Mediterranean.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're going to be near the Mediterranean.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. There's rivers.
Right.
We're going to see a lot of
And
rivers.
there's Dunkirk. You could swim.
We could swim to
England.
Dunkirk. We could swim to England. What's happening?
I don't know.
Geography. Those of you listening whose heads just exploded, we don't know.
How much time have we done?
I think we're at like 58. Look at it. See what happens. Don't grab it and make a lot of noise.
We're at 57.
We're at 57 even?
No, wait. No, we're at 59 flat. That's fine.
Do you think that's enough?
Yeah, I do.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.